So today we're talking about the 70s, the decade of the 70s, and we are going to serve a dish that was typical from the restaurant that I did my training, and I started working in the 70s. So we're going to follow all the way through to 2014 with dishes that kind of followed me along. With the advent of Cuisine Nouvelle, these dishes started to become a lot lighter, a lot friendlier, a lot cleaner, and a lot more colorful. Yes, so we were moving away from the very, very thick starch-based sauces with Cuisine Nouvelle, which is a very light cuisine, and we were moving away from what was called hot cuisine or high cuisine. And what we did was we cooked a little bit of sweetbread. Yes, a wonderful piece of offal, and offal became very popular on menus. Yes, so what we're going to do today is we're just going to accentuate that offal with a little tiny bit of red cabbage. Now you can see the beautiful color there. Yeah. That color is spectacular. And then a nice pureed vegetable. This became very popular then, yes? Pureed vegetables, pureed sauces, and all sorts of light flavored items. Here is a puree of parsnip. And if we put this parsnip right down beside that, you'll see how startling that color is. You follow me? And then we can just simply finish that with a few tiny bits of tourneed carrot. And remember always to serve at least 3, if not 5, of these carrots as you're being taught. Remember, odd color, odd numbers. Yes, odd numbers always on the plate. And then we can serve our beautiful sweetbread. And I'm just going to sauce that bread a little tiny bit to make it a little tiny bit more shiny. And this sauce is just made from the actual stock that this sweetbread was braised in. Follow me, so there's no really, really thick, heavy starch-based sauces. We can place that right on there, and then we can top it with this perfectly beautiful sauteed sweetbread right there. Look how pretty that is. It's opening up a little tiny bit there. I can simply finish that by taking my sauce round the plate like so. Follow me? Just to finish that presentation. Somebody pass me a towel, please. I got a tiny drop, thank you very much. Tiny drop on there. So I'm just gonna make sure that that's beautifully clean. And then I have a little tiny bit of arugula, which I'm going to place right in the middle there where that little tiny crack was, and a tiny bit of fried potato on the very, very top. So this would be a typical dish of the 1970s. Especially where I was training, yes? So this is sauteed and braised sweetbreads, yes? Excellent. Now, we've got plenty for us to try, so what we're gonna do is roast off a few and we're gonna try this ourselves. Everybody good with that? Lovely.